Yeah, welcome to day 2 of Pepper Bootcamp. Let me give you a recap of what we learned on day 1. We told you on day 1, introduction, which is the topic, introduction to pepper farming and the opportunity that lies. We told you, we look at the overview of agriculture in Nigeria. We established the market gap, and we told you the vegetable advantage of pepper, how it enables food security, and we also told you the economic importance of pepper, where we look at the industrial use of pepper, the foreign exchange of pepper, job creation relating to pepper. And we discussed with you type of pepper, the varietal profiles. We talked to you that Scotch bonnet, which is the name of a type of pepper, but in our land here we call it Ata Rodo, and told you Akain, which is Shombo, and we tell you about bell pepper, which is Tatashe. And we discussed with you the climate and environment requirement for it to thrive. We told you that the temperature for pepper thriving is 18% degree centigrade and 30% degree centigrade. Should not be less and not more. And we told you the rainfall and irrigation requirement, but it doesn't like waterlog. And we told you the type of soil, that they should have a pH of 5.5 to 6.8. And we compare small scale and commercial farming with you, where we look at the land size for small and the big commercial. We look at the tech requirement for small and the big. We look at the market for both, and we look at the risk for both. And from there, we give you profit potentials and market demand. And we told you that the lean season strategy is from April, which we are now, and to July. So because at this point, many people can actually make more money, up to 300% of their investment to 500% in return. And we told you high yields, what we can it, and from you can get from 1 hectare, if it were managed, 10 to 50 tons of fresh pepper. And we went to give you some practical insight on action plan. And then we told you the identifiable viable location, proximity to water, topography, you need to look at it, accessibility. And lastly, we told you the basic cost estimation. For you to set it up, we told you that you need to look at land preparation, input of all, and then labor involvement and other contingency. So today, Bootcamp Day 2 of Agri Empower of Pepper Bootcamp is titled Seed Selection and Nursery Management. Seed Selection and Nursery Management. To master the critical first 30 days of the pepper life cycle within the nursery, you as a participant, you will need to learn how to transition from a dormant seed, which the seed is a dormant, inactive, to a robust, to a disease-resistant seedling ready for the feed, meaning to be translated from the nursery to the main feed, where it will grow permanently to bear you this required fruit as you will desire to have. Now let's look at the seed sources, because very important. The seed sources. We have the local, we have the hybrid. So we look at local and hybrid. Now, for you to make profit out of your pepper business, the foundation of it, we start with the seed, with the kind of seed you would look at. Let's look at local seeds. Local seed is known as open pollinated. Where do you get it? But let's look at the pro first. It's cheaper to get, easy to find. Seed can be sourced from even previous harvest. The one that you have harvested before the seed, you can use it. But then look at the cons that is against the local seed. It's lower yield potential. So I don't know if we like that. Is it consistent fruit size? The sizes are not the same, some big, some small, and it's very susceptible to common Nigeria pests. All these things that are much to attack and weaken and make it unable to bear your required fruit. They are there to attack. Let's look at the hybrid seed, F1, F1 of pepper. Let's look at the pro. The pro for it is bred for high yield. It is bred for high yield. Most cases, it's 2 times to 3 times than the local one. The fruit is uniform in shape and it builds in resistance to wheat and viruses. Wheat are disease and viruses are also disease. But this hybrid is built to withstand it. Let's look at the cause that is against it. It is not easily found, it's expensive, and seed can be replanted. Once you get it, you must need to get another one. So they won't breed through the next year. So each moment you must get another. Now, how to test seed viability. How to test seed viability to know if a seed of pepper is viable or not. You look at the float test. The float test. So before wasting time in the nursery, you have to perform a simple water test to know if it is viable or not. How? You take some seed into a container of clean water. You take some seed into a container of a clean water. Then you stir gently. Shake it or use something to turn. Then and let sit for 15 minutes. So leave it for 15 minutes. Now the rule is this: the seed that sink are viable. The seed of pepper that can sink down from up down to the bottom of the water of the contain are viable because they contain a healthy embryo. But seed that float are likely hollow or dead. So remove those ones, discard them. That is testing. Then let's look at the nursery bed preparation and soil mix. We have to look at the nursery bed. How do you prepare it? And how do you get the soil together to meet the requirement? Pepper need fluffy, nutrient-rich soil to push their delicate root through. Pepper need fluffy, not hardening, but also rich in nutrient to enable them to push their root that is so fragile through the soil. Now the ideal potty mix ratio. The ideal potty mix ratio: 1. 2 parts of topsoil. 2 parts of topsoil provides the structure. 2 parts of topsoil provides the structure. 1 part compost 2 parts of topsoil will provide the structure you needed for this, and 1 part compost will provide slow release nutrient. Now, 1 part pure manure. This must be dry, must be decomposed. Provide nitrogen for leaf growth. Optional: add a handful of sharp sand to improve drainage. to do sand so that you can actually allow water drain through. You can add a handful of sharp sand so that it will not be only simply clay and loamy, because that will also bring a problem as its case may be. Now let's look at the sowing techniques. Sowing techniques. The depth you sow the seed is 0.5 centimeter to 1 centimeter deep, not more than 1 centimeter. Sowing too deep leads to damping off, that the seed will rot before they break the surface to come out, and that will not give you the result. So don't sow it deep, but it could be from this provided range, 0.5 centimeter to 1 centimeter, that is half centimeter to 1 centimeter. Now let's look at the spacing. If using a bed for this, you space row 10 centimeter apart. If you are using bed, you have to space on the row 10 centimeter apart. If using seed tray, which is always provided, place one seed per hole. Place one seed per hole. Orientation. Cover lightly with fine soil. Cover lightly with fine soil. Do not compact or press down. Just cover it lightly. Don't use your hand to press. Don't make it tight. That is compacting. It's bad. It will not make it, it will suffocate. They are living organisms, they breathe. Now look at the management. In application of water, shade and time. Watering schedule. Watering schedule. Use a fine mist sprayer or a watering can with a rose head. You water twice daily, early in the morning and late in the evening. Please, never water in the heat of the afternoon. Never water in the heat of the afternoon. Shaded management. Shade management. Now, you know you are not exposing it completely to the background of the sun and the bad weather. So use palm frond or a 50% shade net. This is to shade it from all the sun, but at least allowing certain amount of it to go through. Critical. 7 days before transplanting. 7 days before transplanting, now they have grown in the nursery. Before transplanting to the May, you gradually remove the shade. You gradually remove all those shade you put there for it to live. But the reason is to harden off. So they plant for the sun, because you are not going to expose it to full blown of the sun. Germination timeline. The germination timeline, 5 to 7 days. It will germinate when you sow it, 5 to 7 days. The first sign of life, the loop stage. So 10 to 14 days. It will not be full expansion of the first two leaves. The first two leaves, which is cotyledons. The 10 to 14 days is the full expansion of the first two leaves, cotyledon. Output, what you are getting. Nursery, pepper nursery setup guide, step by step. Take note. Step 1, container selection. Container selection. Use plastic seed trays. Use plastic seed tray, perforated poly bag, or a raised ground bed, 30 centimeter high, to ensure drainage. To ensure drainage. Now, use plastic seed tray, perforated poly bag, or a raised ground bed that is up to 30 centimeter high to ensure drainage. Step 2, soil sterilization. As you have gotten that, you pour, before you put this, you pour boiling water over your soil mist or sun dry it for 3 days to kill soil-borne pathogen and weed seeds. So you boil water 100% degree, pour it all around, then leave it for a while, not that same day, at least up to 3-4 days before you start planting. This is enable pathogens that are dead and become manure, and weed seed that may be tempting to grow before that will come up to as well died, or you expose it to, if it's all sun there, 3 days sun. Step 3, sowing of the seed. Place seed in the soil. Place the seeds in the soil. Cover with 18 layers of mulch. Mulch are dry grasses to retain moisture during the first days. During the first 5 days, so that evaporation will not be much. Step 4, monitoring, which it must be involved, which is the management practice. Remove the mulch immediately once you see the first green sprout. Once you see it that it's coming out, remove the mulch that you put there. Move to a semi-shaded area. Then you move it to a semi-shaded area. Step 5, protection you will provide. Spray a mild organic neem oil solution or wood ash around the nursery to keep ants and cricket away from the tender stem, because they will definitely eat it. A mild organic neem oil solution, or you have wood ash, spray it around it. This will keep all those nonsensical things away. So this is the end of day 2 of Pepper Bootcamp training. I will be glad if you take pain to look through the PDF test for the foundation, but I am breaking it down with explanation, some of those points that you might see highlighted. It will help you to understand deeply and invariably understand what is especially needed. Thank you. As today, when we meet, we shall be looking through day 1, day 2, and then ask questions, and then we'll be able to get better. So I will be glad if you are part of the participant and you are here and you have not subscribed to this YouTube video. Apart from this, if you subscribe, you have opportunity to receive any video I uploaded. So thank you.